Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saima Javed Khan and I welcome you to the brand new episode of Roots Millennium Youth Camp. So before we begin, I would like you to think about something, imagine something. And I want you to imagine that it's your result day, right? So you're walking into your school feeling really confident that you studied hard, you prepared for it, and you're expecting really good grades. So as soon as you enter your classroom and your teacher hands over your result card to you, the grades that you see on your report card are not what you were expecting. They were much lower than what you were expecting. Now there are a lot of thoughts that are going in your mind. You're thinking that maybe the teacher was really strict in marking the papers, or you're even thinking that maybe the teacher doesn't like me, that's why she graded me so low. Or you're thinking maybe there was a mistake. Even some students, what they think is that maybe, why study so much? Why study so hard when I cannot score that much? So did something of this thing ever happen to you? Like maybe not in grades, but maybe with your family, with your friends, or even on social media. Something happened, something terrible happened, something that you didn't like, or something that didn't work as per your plan, something that didn't give you the results that you were expecting. Now here is a big question. The question is not that what happened. The question is, what did you do when something happened to you, when something terrible happened to you? This is exactly what we are going to talk about today. A great leadership skill that works like magic. Trust me, it works like magic, right? And that leadership skill is nothing else but responsibility. All right, so don't think of it as a boring lecture or anything, because the responsibility that we are going to talk about is more like a power. Have you heard of that? Have you heard Uncle Ben saying that in Spider-Man? That with great responsibility comes great power, or maybe the other way around, with great power comes a lot of responsibility. So whatever way it is, but yes, responsibility gives you a lot of power. It gives you power to choose your own response. It gives you power to make your own decisions. It gives you power to decide your own future or decide your own life. So this is exactly what we are going to talk about today. All right, so the word responsibility, I really want you to think hard on it. Responsibility. So it's the ability to respond. That is something that a lot of people learn when they get to the age of how old I am, right? But let me tell you a secret. This is something that not a lot of people will tell you, that responsibility is something that universities look for. Responsibility is something that employers look for. Even you would want a team member who's responsible, right? Parents or families, they like or they trust people or kids who are responsible. So responsibility is a very big skill that we all can learn, right? Now, yes, at this point, grades are really important, right? Grades will open the doors for you. But what will help you pass through that door with confidence is responsibility. So what I want you to do is, I want you to get your reflective journals and your pens with you, because throughout this session, we are going to do a lot of reflection, right? I want you to be honest and put down your thoughts. I don't want you to be honest for anyone else. I want you to be honest for yourself, not for your parents, not for your teachers, not for your friends, not for anyone else. Be honest for yourself, be honest for who you are, be honest for the kind of leader that you are about to become, right? So let's get your journals. All right, so you got your journals, right? All right, so now what I want you to do is take 2 minutes, right? You'll see on your screen a 7 habits growth self-assessment. There are some 10 statements that I want you to go through very honestly and mark yourself from 1 till 5. So 1 means not me, which does not resonate with you. And 5 means that's you, right? So go through these statements and mark yourself where you lie. So I'm going to see you back after 2 minutes. Welcome back, and thank you for being honest with your self assessment. This is your first step towards growth of maturity. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to think about someone whom you really, really admire. It could be anyone in your family, or in your friends, or anyone, any celebrity that you follow. Think about their life, about the great things that they have done, but also think about the challenges that they face. Do you think that they do not have any challenges in their life? But let me tell you, everyone faces challenges, big or small. And it's not about the challenges, it's about what you do when you face a challenge. So these people, what they did is, when they came across challenges, they stopped asking, why me? Or they stopped asking, why is this happening to me? What they have started doing is, they've started answering, what can I do about this? Right? So these are proactive people. And proactive people are people who take initiative. They don't wait for anyone. They take charge of their lives. They look for solutions. They don't blame anyone, right? On the other hand, reactive people are the ones who wait for others to give direction. They start blaming others. They start blaming the circumstances. They think more about the problems rather than thinking about the solutions. So this is what we are going to talk about right now, right? So being a proactive person is not that difficult, but you need to learn how to become proactive. There are certain characteristics of proactive people. Number one, what they do is they pause and they respond. So let me ask you a question. If I give you lemon, what are you going to do with them? Make lemonade, right? When life gives you lemon, you make lemonade, nothing else, right? So when life gives you challenges, what do you do with them? Yes, you develop the ability to respond, but after having a pause, right? So pause is something that you really need to learn how to do. So whenever you come across a challenge, what you need to do is, this is something that is really hitting you hard, and this is your response. So what you need to do is, you need to break them apart. You need to, create some space there. This is the pause that I'm talking about here. Bring that space, and in that space lies your freedom to choose. This is the power that you have when you become responsible. You have choice. You have choice of words, you have choice of actions, you have choice of thoughts and emotions. You also think about what am I going to do next? What are the consequences of whatever that I'm going to do? You'll also think, how is this going to affect me? How is my response going to affect my relationships or my future, right? So this is what you do when you take a pause, and this is exactly what these great people do. They take a pause, and in that pause they think how to respond. This is what is called as responsibility. So now is the time to watch a video. The name of this video is Be the Water. Let's watch it and come back and have a discussion about this.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max and Holly show.
That's Holly.
And he's Max.
And today we're gonna make a mess.
Today we're talking about anger.
Yeah, and we're gonna make a mess.
It's gonna be awesome.
Let's get started. Okay, so this is me, and that's you.
Okay, what are some things that make you angry?
When someone makes fun of me at school.
Yeah, people can be really mean.
It's not cool. But you know what is cool? Making a mess. Okay, let's start shaking.
Okay, someone's making fun of your hair.
Or making fun of your bracelets.
Or your shoes.
Oh, I'm getting so mad I can just explode. This is what happens when we get angry and start yelling at the back. And open!
Max, I told you this would happen! I told you! And you just wanted to make a mess because you're so childish, and I didn't want to get messy. You're so selfish. Can't you just listen to me once?
Holly. You're kind of acting like the soda bottle right now.
What are you talking about?
Well, you just blew up at me.
Yeah, because you made me angry.
Yeah, you got angry and you said some pretty mean things.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the whole point of this episode. To not blow up when we get shaken.
That's a really good example.
Listen, it can feel good to explode in the moment, but usually it just makes a bigger mess.
Yeah, because it felt really good to yell when I was angry, but I do regret what I said. I'm sorry, I guess I have to work on that. So what do we do instead?
Let's do it again, but this time with different bottles.
Really?
Yeah, trust me. Okay, so, you're in the hallway and someone pushes you against the locker.
Okay, I'm getting angry.
Yeah, me too. Now someone knocks over your lunchbox.
That's so rude!
I'm so mad. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, open!
Oh. Look at that. When we opened these bottles, they didn't explode.
Yeah, that's because these ones are filled with water and won't explode even though we shake them.
And that's what we need to be like.
When you're feeling angry, you just need to take a few minutes or even a few deep breaths and remain calm and keep it together, just like the water.
Yeah, we're in control of how we react, not our feelings.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think so.
Oh, right on my nose! How are you? What did I do wrong?
I chose the water.
Oh, man.
Alright, see you guys next
And
time.
remember, don't be like the soda. Cheers.
So did you notice that how did the water and the soda behave differently? Even though they went through the same challenges, even though they went through the same circumstances, but the way they responded was different. And that is exactly how we want to be. We want to be like water and not soda, right? So I want you to take some time. I'm going to pause this video and I want you to take your reflective journal and think about a time when you usually get reactive. So think of a situation when you usually get reactive, right? And I want you to think like what happens to you or what happens inside your body when you are reacting, right? Also think about like what happens to your surrounding, to your relationships. This is called as self-awareness of what's happening, right? What's happening with you, what's happening around you. And I want you also to think about what your conscience says about it. Like, is this the right thing to do, or there's another way of doing it? Think about that as well. Also think about if this happens again next time, if that situation happens again next time, how will you respond? And what will be your approach to it? So pick up your pens and start thinking and writing. So welcome back. Now what you just did makes you distinctly different from animals, because God has given humans 4 unique human gifts. Those 4 unique human gifts are: number 1, self-awareness. Animals are not aware of themselves or their surroundings. It's only humans who have that power to acknowledge of what's happening inside them. Number 2, unique gift that God has given us is imagination. So only humans can think beyond time. We can think about our future, we can think about our past. Animals cannot do that. Number 3 gift that God has given us is conscience. It's a system that is installed here that tells us what is right and what is wrong. Animals do not have this gift. And the 4th gift that God has given us is independent will. That is the choice. Again, we're talking about responsibility here. So you have a choice whether you want to do this or you want to do that. A good choice or a bad choice. So that's how you are different from animals, right? So let's move on to another characteristic of a proactive person. Proactive people, they carry their own weather. Can you control rain? No, right? You can't control the temperature. Yes, only if you use an AC, but otherwise you can't control the natural things that are happening, right? But proactive people, what they do is they carry their own weather. So rain or shine, they know that they want to be happy, and they have the control of their lives in their hands, just like the TV remote that you have. So you have that remote in your hand, and you can choose whether you want to be happy or you want to be sad, whether you want to be feel really energetic or you want to feel lazy. It's your choice, right? So now what I want you to do is, I'm going to pause this video. There are some questions that are going to appear on your screen. I want you to think about them and put down your ideas there. So welcome back, and so you explored the concept of carry your own weather, right? So you know that there are some people who mirror the weather. Strange concept, right? On sunny days they are cheerful, on cloudy days they are gloomy, on stormy days they even distance themselves. Reactive people allow things outside themselves to determine how they feel. They let other people's bad moods spoil their own mood. They feel awesome when their team wins, and they feel really down when the team loses. The outside weather really determines what's inside or what's happening inside them in their minds. These are reactive people. But proactive people, as you have just explored, they carry their own weather. They do not mirror the weather. So they decide when to be happy, they decide how to respond. Moving forward to the third characteristic of proactive people. Proactive people use proactive language, right? What they do is, like, you can instantly tell if someone is being reactive or proactive by the words that they are using. So keep an eye, keep your ears open to the words that they are using, or keep your ears open to the words that you are using, because the words, the language that you'll be using actually tells whether you are being reactive or proactive. And let me tell you, research says that when you use reactive language like, I cannot do this, this is really difficult, there's no way out. These are some examples of reactive language. So research says that when you use this kind of language, your brain releases stress hormones, which actually affects your body. So what I want you to do is, I want you to say these phrases out aloud. He makes me so mad. I have to do my homework. If only I was a bit taller. I cannot change this. It is not my fault. He gave me his pencil first. I'm not good at drawing, or I'm not good at math, right? Try saying these phrases out aloud, and observe yourself. Look at yourself. What is happening inside your body? How are you feeling inside? What's happening to your shoulders? Look at your eyes. Look at your tone, right? What's happening is your brain is releasing stress hormones, and your whole body gets affected by that. On the other hand, when you use proactive language like, I can, I choose to, there must be some way to find a solution. When you use such kind of phrases, your mind starts finding solutions, starts giving out positive vibes, right? You can actually feel some shine in your eyes. You'll have a smile on your face. You'll feel relaxed in your body. That's the power of language. That's the power of proactive language. And proactive people, they use this kind of language. It's time to take out your reflective journal. I'm going to pause the video, and in this time, I want you to look at the reflective phrases and convert them into proactive phrases, right? So take some time, and I'll see you back in a few minutes. Another most important thing that proactive people do is focusing their energies on things that they can control. So a lot of things happen in our lives, right? Some things are in your control, some things are not in your control, some things are like there are some things on which you have very little control. So what proactive people do is they focus their energy, their time, everything on things that they can that is in their control, and they do not worry about things which are not in their control. But in between, there are certain things that they can influence through their own behavior. So this is a very important concept that you and we both need to practice and keep remembering it, that whenever you come across a challenge, like what you can do is you can dissect that challenge into two sections, into two circles. Things which are in your control, things which are not in your control. And focus all your energy and time on things which you have direct influence on. That's how proactive people live. That's how they grow their influence, because whichever circle that you're going to focus on, that circle is going to increase. So reactive people, they stay in the circle of concern. Circle of concern is the circle which is out of their control, right? And proactive people spend their time on the circle of influence. Again, circle of influence is the influence on which they have their control, right? So now what I want you to do is, I'm going to pause the video and you're going to take out your reflective journal. There are certain questions which you are going to see on your screen. I want you to take your time, reflect on it, and answer those questions honestly. And I'm going to see you back in a few minutes. We have spent quite some time now on understanding what a proactive person looks like, sounds like, right? So when you focus on your circle of control, when you use proactive language, when you pause and respond, what is the end result? You become a proactive person. Another word for proactive person is a transition person. So do you understand the word transition? Transition means change. So transition person is someone who changes unhealthy habits or unhealthy patterns and converts that into a positive pattern or habit, that's a transition person, right? So when you are going to practice all these highly effective practices of being proactive or being responsible, you're going to be a transition person. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with a very inspirational video. The name of this video is Stone. So Stone comes from Uganda, and he is a footballer. Like, he really wanted to play at an international level, but something terrible happened to him. And let me tell you about Uganda. Uganda is a place where revenge is really big. So something on the play field happened to him, and he could have taken some revenge, but Stone showed proactivity. So I'm not going to spoil the suspense of this video, right? So I'm going to leave you with this video. Watch it carefully and think how he used the proactive language. Look for the words that he used. Look for how he worked in his circle of control. Look for how he took a pause, how he became a transition person. Let's watch this video. So friends, we have spent quite some time in discussing proactivity, responsibility, being a transition person. I hope you have learned this power, and this power is going to create magic in your lives. So all the best and have a good day. Bye-bye.